Welcome back to the Nihilist Media Podcast. This is Bonding with Bond. I'm Mark.
And I'm Nicholas.
And today we watched...
For Your Eyes Only.
Yep.
Already forgot.
The debatably the best Roger Moore film.
Yeah.
It's debatable. It doesn't mean it's a fact. It's a debatable one. I'll give him this. It's his best performance as James Bond.
It's a lot. Yes, it's definitely... I still think Live and Let Live... Die. Live and Let Die is a better everything but Roger Moore. But in this one, Roger Moore's pretty good.
Yes. It opens up and Nick got his ears perked up because it has one of his favorite things, and that's lore.
Yeah. Mark whispered continuity, and my hair all went on ends.
Mm-hmm. Bond shows up to Teresa Bond's grave when, it says we have all the time in the world on the gravestone, showing that we have a bit of continuity here. He's, and obviously the director of this was the editor of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. He was also the second unit director on some scenes, so he helped shoot like the bobsled scene and whatnot. What?
He does that again.
He does do that. It does have a very On Her Majesty's Secret Service feel.
Yeah, there's some stuff where I was like, oh yeah, he definitely was like, let's do that again, because that was the best one we've made.
Yeah. And Bond gets taken away by a priest. The priest is like, hey, your place called. They're like, get in the fucking helicopter because it's important. And then he gets in the helicopter. The guy's like, buckle up. And then Bond buckles up, and then the priest is being like, "Hey, Father, Son, the Holy Spirit." And then Nick really got excited.
Yeah, and it hard cuts to a little cat getting petted. I was like, "Oh my God, Blofeld's back!"
Spectre.
Yeah. Oh, there's another scene later on where I'm so used to looking at hands when they zoom in and looking for a ring with an octopus on it. They're trying to show that somebody has like a dove little tie on it, and I was like, is there a Spectre ring? I was like, okay, calm down.
Yeah, it's not. He literally, we saw what happened to Spectre in the beginning. You don't have to chew your cabbage and eat it twice. It's like, so we have the big fuck you to Blofeld. Blofeld's back, and he's in a wheelchair now because of presumably the injuries from Diamonds Are Forever when he was getting banged around by Bond, or it's because they said fuck Diamonds Are Forever. He still is in a wheelchair because of what happened to him in Our Majesty's Secret Service. Whatever. Who cares? No one cares.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair either way.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair. He's petted. They don't say into Blofeld. They don't show his face because they can't for legal purposes. So it's just a bald guy with a white cat. You know who it is. And
it hard cut to the cat, and I was like, I know what this is.
Yeah, Blofeld is back, and
not for long.
Yeah, he kills the henchman in the helicopter, and then he takes control of it. Which, why didn't he just kill the henchman and let Bond just die? Yeah, because he's an idiot. We've established this. He lost like 7 times.
I want to control it with a remote control.
Yeah.
I need to get my puns in.
And it was 6 times he's lost. So this is his 7th time. And Bond is hanging on the outside of the helicopter. It's very fun. It's a lot more imaginative than anything that happened in the previous film. The sci-fi movie.
Yeah. That's somebody's favorite movie, but...
Yeah, not ours. And... Bond makes his way into the helicopter, but by that point, it's like at the end of the road. But Bond just unplugs Blofeld's thing so that he can take it back control of the helicopter, flies it around.
Blofeld appears to have never thought that would even be possible, even though it's like one cord that's plugged in.
Yeah, and also there's a part where like Blofeld makes him fly right next to him, where Bond easily could have just jumped off and then beat the shit out of this man in a wheelchair. And I don't know why he didn't.
Yeah.
Because that would have been hilarious. But he gets in the helicopter. He flies away. He picks up Blofeld with one of the steps. And Blofeld is now in Bond's hands. And Blofeld is freaking out. He's like, Mr. Bond, please, Mr. Bond, I can buy you a delicatessen. Which is like, okay. And Bond is like, okay, keep your hair on. And Roger Moore. That Roger Moore, he's known for his comedy. And he drops Blofeld into a smokestack.
Yeah, right down that chimney chute, like Santa.
And then we
get the intro.
Yeah.
We get the title.
So I feel like this is going to be the only time we're really going to argue during this episode.
Oh.
Because you don't like it.
Yeah,
I love it.
So I went into this, and there's some dark parts in this, but I got a text earlier that said, this is Roger Moore's darkest Bond movie. And I was like, oh, I am excited. And then it opens with some of the goofiest shit we've seen so far. And I was like, not the vibe I was expecting, but I think it's all right. I think it's I'm glad it's not in the middle of the movie. I'm glad it's just out of the way at the beginning, and because it almost immediately goes into the
plot.
Really good, like the ship sinking, and it looks pretty brutal. It's dark, like people are suffering. It looks great.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is such a weird difference from what we just watched.
Yeah, well, my thing is Spectre was always a little silly.
No.
It didn't stop. It was like silly from the get-go, and then it didn't get serious until Honor Majesty, and then it got silly again.
Yeah.
Because like Spectre started out with a man with metal hands stealing paintings, and then and then it went to fucking girls with fucking knives in their shoe, and an eye patch guy with fucking sharks.
Yeah,
it's like Spectre was, and then man living in a volcano. It was Spectre was always a little silly. So I think
it made the tropes.
Yeah,
only silly because they were so good this first.
Yeah, I just think that I think I can excuse the silliness of killing off Blofeld in the most bizarre way.
Yeah,
you can.
I was like, it's just random.
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm not like, wow, Bond's such a badass. He dropped a guy in a wheelchair down a chimney stack. And like, I also feel like it's not brutal enough for it to be like, oh, he's killing him because he killed his wife. So I'm like, okay, this is just a weird beginning thing to be like, fuck everything. We just need to we need to get rid of this loose end.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that opening is John Glenn being like, listen, I like the ones y'all like. I don't like the ones you don't like. So let's go back to when we liked this shit.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the 60s. So he brought back Blofeld, killed him off so he can be like, not only are we bringing back the past, we're also going to end the past. We're going to start a new era. It's the 80s now. This is the first Bond film of the 80s, so it has to, like, the 70s are over, the 60s are over, but also, like, let's go back to the 60s in terms of, like, let's have, like, that tone again.
And they have it for a lot of it.
Yeah, whenever it's not predominantly Roger, we got like that Dr. No tone.
Yeah, there were some scenes with him that I thought were pretty good, but
yeah,
another thing that I did like in the beginning part was the music. It's like, ooh, this is different. I had a complaint during it that, like, they still have the Bond theme, which is so good. I'm like, just make it whatever genre of music you're going for. I'm like, this sounds so good. I wish you'd just, like, throw a couple little teases of the OG Bond theme in it. And they do later on. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is perfect. I love this.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, John Glenn's first Bond movie. He'll be the Bond voice of the 80s. And the movie starts off with a ship, I believe it's a British ship.
Yeah.
Being sunk by accident, which is what I like.
Well, so I thought it was by accident, too. But then when they're fighting the White Dove guy in that where he blows up that, like, shed, the storage shed, he puts the device on one of the anti-ship mines, like just like one of these ones. And it's like, did they plant it with the fishies?
I want to believe that it was an accident.
I want it to be an accident too, because I think that's so cool that they're.
It has to be an accident though, because
that's why
like,
I don't like that they put those anti-boat mines there.
because
just let it be an accident.
It has to be. Yeah, it has to be an accident because
Nobody's ready for it.
Exactly, because Gogol isn't being like, oh, let's steal that thing from them. He's just like, oh, it blew up and then it's like sunk. Let's go fucking get it. Get the guy from Greece, and that's how we get the villain involved. So I don't think it would make sense if this was planned unless like maybe he explained that this was part of the thing, but I don't remember.
I missed it. I don't think so. But that like. If they did, I prefer... In my head, it'll always be an accident. And then that sets the plot in motion.
Yeah, and it's a great little action scene. I mean, I like...
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
This is what I was expecting, not wheelchair scooping in a helicopter.
Hey, I'm glad this wasn't the opening title, like pre-title
Imagine
sequence.
if it was inverted and it opened with this, and then we get the title sequence, and then it goes into him in the helicopter.
No, that would be terrible.
It would be awful. So I'm glad they did it the other way.
Yeah.
And the title sequence too, I thought was pretty cool. Having the singer in it, I thought was interesting.
Yeah, having Sheena Easton.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I think the song's pretty good. Yeah. I heard it. I found a Spotify playlist that has all of them in one place.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to the last one, and it auto-played this one, and I was like, oh, this one's pretty good too. But then, of course, I went back to Live and Let Die, which was what I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's an alright song. I mean, it's too 80s ballady for me, but whatever.
Yeah.
But we were talking. So when the ship's blowing up, before the ship blows up, actually, like the guy handcuffs himself to a desk.
Yes.
So we also it's a really good indicator without having to say it's an indicator of like, hey,
this is important.
This is important. And then like the thing is, he pulls up a thing to like actually kill himself and everyone on board.
Yeah.
To blow up everything, and then he can't reach it because he's drowning. And I'm like, brutal.
Yeah, it's so good. I was like, maybe just hold your breath, chill for a little bit, and then once water's filled the cabin, then you can hit the lever easier.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they wouldn't have thought of that in the moment.
Yeah. Then we have some the Ministry of Defense getting told by some uptight British guys that that ship was sunk and that
they say it stopped. They don't know what happened, that it stopped reporting back, and that they've found some debris and they think it's from that. And he's like,
hard cut to General Gogol being like, really, we could take that?
Yeah,
I
think that had the thing on it.
Yeah, it's in Greece. Send our guy from Greece there.
We got homies everywhere.
Yeah. Always a delight to see General Gogol, honestly. Obviously, this is now the first Bond film without Bernard-Lee's M, which is, you feel it. You definitely feel his absence.
Yeah. It's pretty, especially with the Moneypenny scene. She's like, oh, he's on vacation.
We don't know. We haven't decided what we're going to do yet about that, so we're going to put a pin in that. We'll see you next movie.
I think they did it all right, though, because it kind of makes sense that it went to the defense guy. Because basically, whenever we get M, it's just the step after the defense guy gets everything.
Yeah.
Then he brings M in on it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool seeing the before M. And then he's like, oh, M's on vacation, I guess. So I'll just get Bond.
We then see Melina and this guy flying over. Melina will be our Bond girl of the film. We see them flying to a boat, and then she drops them off. We are introduced to her parents, who I believe the father was one who designed the machine, or he's...
Yeah, it seems like it's his scavenging company. And that's why I was trying to think of why he wants him dead.
Maybe this is also the guy they were gonna have get the thing for them. Like the British Secret Service was gonna have him get it, and then while Gogol would have the other guy get it.
Oh yeah, because
so Gogol just had.
They end up having the other submarine later on.
Yeah, so then the guy from Greece just killed Melina's parents.
Yeah, I love this whole scene. I love the boat. I think the boat's a perfect set. I love those planes.
You love the parrot.
Yeah, the parrot was cool.
Yeah,
I liked him a lot.
the dad's got a parrot, and we established that the parrot says everything that he hears.
Yeah.
And he also likes pistachios.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of pistachios in this movie.
Yeah.
And
Melina's not a great actress.
no, yeah, and she's VO'd, which is very apparent at some points. There are times where the voice actress is, I don't want to say like louder, but not as quiet, and you can like barely see her mouth moving, and almost aggressive toned words are coming out. I'm like, oh no, I hope the whole movie isn't like this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only, I think it was for a couple scenes early on. It's not this scene at the beginning.
She gets better, but she's not great.
Yeah.
Her character's great. So, but it's the classic thing that we don't like, is that they'll give these great character arcs to people who really can't act very well.
And then the next movie we'll get
I'll get a great actress. So she'll have like a one-dimensional character.
Yeah.
Like great.
Yeah, because this is another one. So the parents die and she goes on a vendetta.
Yeah,
it's wonderful, and she has her own arcs.
Yep,
and
it's Domino 2.0.
Oh yeah, very comparable to Domino.
Yeah. Not as interesting as Domino,
No.
but
and not as good of a relationship with Bond.
yeah. We then have Moneypenny come in, and she's looking rough.
I was so worried. I saw Moneypenny open the door. I was like, oh no, I thought where M was gone, we weren't going to get this.
Yeah, but to our surprise, we get the hat toss.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's shot through a reflection, and you just see it land on the hat stand. I was like, I really liked that.
Yeah, and Roger
then-
Moore has some sexual chemistry with her here.
I don't like it.
You just don't like the man, but
I don't know if I like her anymore either. Which I feel sad saying, but I didn't like this scene really at all.
I mean, you liked it because of the hat.
Yeah, I liked everything in the reflection, and then they cut to like a medium shot, and I go, oh no. And he does like the kid. He's like, my eyes love to see you. He's like, and the rest of me. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah, and
old man boner jokes.
yeah, I mean, she's staying for the rest of the Moore era. So
All right, only a couple more.
yeah. We then meet Bill Tanner and the Ministry of Defense, and they're like, "What do you know about this thing?" And Bond's like, "Well, it can sink submarines, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah." And then they're like, "Yes, it can sink our own submarines if someone has it.
It can tell our submarines what to do."
Yeah,
I was like, why don't you just like tell everybody that got stolen and stop using it? I would hope that they wouldn't just blindly listen to any order that came from a machine.
I mean, I've seen Dr. Strangelove.
I still haven't seen it. So.
That's the whole crux of the movie. They give the codes to send the nukes, and then it kills everybody.
Are you spoiling this?
That's how the movie opens, Nick.
This millennia-old movie for me?
Yeah. And then they give him a thing. It's like, here's your mission statement it's for your eyes only. And then Bond's driving the car from Spy Who Loved Me, which is nice.
Yeah,
you love
the
to see
Lotus.
it. And he parks and
Locks it.
and they make a point to show that he locks it because it says burglar proof on it.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
He does some spying. He's walking around. There's a couple who this conveniently makes out. So
I guess it kind of makes sense seeing the rest of the pool area, but that happened. And I was like, oh man, is she in on it? And Mark just goes, oh no, yeah, they're just doing that.
Yeah.
The second Bond no longer needs them making out, they stop making out, and she walks away. I was like, okay, spy work.
You know how it is. Then we meet our main henchman, who's that's his name.
Yeah,
Locke. Yeah, he's very cool. He's got a bowl cut and some glasses.
It's a bowl cut that's split in the middle.
Yeah, but it is a bowl cut.
Rather. Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's definitely something.
It's impressively 70s.
Yeah. I think he's pretty cool. He's very not, like, doesn't speak often. And
I don't think he speaks at all.
Yeah, now that I think of it, I don't think he does either.
I think the only time he makes a noise is when he dies.
He might. Does he do something with the money? He might not. I think he just opens it and then puts the money back in the case after.
I think so. Yeah, so basically he's going to this place to
meet with the hitman that just killed
Molina's family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so that's all right, so yeah, that's probably what he was there for, was to get the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Cuz isn't that how they figure out how to disarm the bomb later? It's cuz of the dad's notes or some shit.
No, I think he gets like a hand card from like, I would assume it was MI6. I didn't even think about it because it's like a little instruction thing.
Yeah, I assume that they got
it
it
on a laminated note card.
Yeah, I assume they got it at his.
I can't wait to get there. Cut them in the specific order of 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. There's a great bit where the guy gives one of the girls at the pool party with some of the money that he just earned for killing people, and that's gonna come into play again soon. But Bond hears something going into the distance, and a couple guys grab him. They pull the jacket down so he can't do shit.
Yep, love that.
And they're like 007, blah blah blah, British Secret Service, take him away. And while that's happening, this guy who they paid off is gonna jump into the pool, but he gets fucking darted.
Yeah, there's some really good sound design. It's like right as the splash of the water happens, you hear the like, I guess the bolt leaving the crossbow. I can't remember if it's the noise of it hitting him or it leaving the crossbow, but it is perfect. I loved it. I could subtly hear it. I was like, oh, I am so happy about this.
Yeah. And it's obviously Molina who kills him.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a nice little action scene at the pool.
Her costume is sick. She has like almost like a ghillie suit hat on.
Yeah.
To blend in. I love that. I thought it was a interesting bit.
We have a little action scene that happens at the pool, but then we get some stupid Roger shit where he jumps off of a cliff, like a cliff with an umbrella, and he Mary Poppins his ways down.
He said, "You're not gonna let me use my glider. I'm gonna have an umbrella."
Mm-hmm. And then he meets up with Molina, and then she shoots the guy from behind Bond. He's just like, "Well, you seem friendly. Let's go." And he goes, and they go to his car, the Lotus, and the guys are trying to break the glass, and the car explodes.
Just hope you have a red.
Yeah, so I mean,
just blew up.
Bad design on Q's part, because what if Bond locked his keys in the car? That's all I'm saying.
Bond would know it's burglar proof.
Yeah. So basically, there's another bit. So Locke, while this fight scene's happening, Locke doesn't move at all, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And then when shit goes to hell, Locke gets up, grabs the money from the girl that the guy gave the money to, and puts it in the suitcase. Which I'm like, good detail, very good detail.
Yeah, I love that. I wasn't sure what he took from her, and Mark was like, "Oh, this is nice, a little bit." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, and then we go to Molina's car, and it's a little, like, yellow bug. Right? Is what it was?
I think it's called the Thing. I have to look it up.
Was it a Mini Cooper, or was it a bug?
I think it's a VW, because there's a lot of... Oh, no, I don't know what that is. I'm going to be that guy and look it up.
Okay. Well, anyway, they get in a car chase, and it's spectacular, because they actually have music.
And I can't believe how great a chase scene can be when you just put music on it.
Yeah. And then, he introduces himself. My name is Bond, James Bond. And, he sucks with that because he's always sucked saying it.
I'd say it's one of his better ones, but it's still terrible. It's a 2CV. I don't even know what this car is.
I don't either.
It looks funky.
Yeah.
It's a downgrade from a Lotus.
Yeah, it looks silly because it's supposed to be an anti-Bond car.
Yeah.
But it actually, because it's so small and compact, it gets them through better situations.
Yeah. And thinking about it, this is a long chase, but it's really good.
Yeah. I mean, we also get a little silly where Bond, they flip the car, and then the village people have to, like, push it up, and then they go away again, and then like there's also a part, it ends with like the villain's car getting into a tree, and like helping all the farmers, I guess.
The knocks all the olives out of the tree. I thought that part, I was like, oh, that's a little silly, but overall I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
it's one of the better chases in the series so far. I think it's just because it's shot well.
Yeah, I think it's the best sense.
It's not all rear projection.
Yeah, I guess it's the best since Spy Who Loved Me, which I guess wasn't that long ago. But
yeah, I think my favorite is still
Doctor No. No, I'm kidding.
No, Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah, we get
It's
it.
so good.
We get it, Nick. It's the best Bond movie.
Yeah, they.
All right, you're never gonna get that.
It's funny because I was like, what's the one there in snow, and she's driving, and it's real good, and I was like, oh, I know what movie it was.
Yeah,
I should just assume everything I like is from
On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Yeah. After the car, we get. Oh, during the car ride, we're also told like who Melina is and stuff, or like Bond figures out who she is, and he's telling her who he is, and yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. And then they go to a hotel, I believe, and I don't think they say anything of note at that hotel. Honestly, no. I think he's just like stay out of this business. You got away with it once, don't get away with it again.
Yeah, don't try.
And then,
then they run into each other.
Yeah, and then he goes to MI6, and they're like, "Hey, go to fucking I think
somewhere with snow."
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember what country they go to specifically.
Because they want him to go talk to Luigi, because this guy named Luigi's got a contact.
Man, Luigi is not Felix.
Yeah, Luigi kind of sucks.
Yeah, Luigi does some good espionage work.
Yeah,
but he probably one of my least favorite lines in the whole movie. He just goes, "Okay."
Yeah.
Bond just tells him, "No, you stay here."
Oh, actually, I'm wrong. That is not what happens in the film. He's like, our target was neutralized, but I saw this guy give him money. I'm gonna go talk to Q, and we're gonna make with one of his identifier things.
Yeah,
and then we'll figure out who he is, and then we'll figure things out from there. We get the Q Lab scene.
Yeah, we get
things,
cool gadgets.
Cool
the
gadgets.
Cast is amazing. There's a guy with a cast on his arm, and he like hits a button, and the cast smashes the dude's head.
Yeah,
it comes off his arm. I love that one.
We also have Q and Bond having like fights again, which is very welcome. They're no longer chummy, where Bond has to do things for Q and Q has to do things for Bond, and they both get annoyed with one another.
Yeah, he sees the car and he's like, "Oh, you put it back together," and he's like, "Can you?" You know how annoying it is when I have to put back together a car that you blew up?
Yeah. He's like, oh, can you, how about this, Bond? How about you just fucking die?
Next time, be in the car.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about that? Just fucking dying? And Bond's just like, no, I haven't. No,
let's ID this guy.
Yeah. And then they do it for a whole day, pretty much.
Yeah. It was funny because they're going through it, and it kind of feels like it's going pretty fast. And it kind of jump cuts a little bit, and the door opens, and all the lights are off behind them. And I was like, did they forget to turn the set on for this shot? I was like, what is happening? And then Q's like, oh, I'll close up. Don't worry. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It took all day. I was like, that's actually a nice way to show passage of time. I was too mean to it.
Yeah. I mean, this scene's a little silly.
Yeah.
With Q making the guy have a long Pinocchio nose at one point, and it's just like enough.
Well, I think one would be okay, but they do the Pinocchio nose and then immediately go into like he messes up the lips or something, I think.
Yeah.
He makes them like too close together and huge, and I was like, is it just going to be all ha-has? What is happening?
Yeah, it's whatever though. And then they, after a whole day of working on it, they figure out who it is, and then they're like, "Oh, let's go to this country where he's gonna be." Blah blah blah. We got this guy Luigi who's gonna be a contact for you, and that's that. This is like a weird, because like this is a movie that's only good if you're watching it.
Yeah, like talking about it, it's kind of falling apart for me because while we were watching it, I was like, this first half of the movie is pretty solid. And then there's a couple things that happen right next to each other that I was like, I keep saying I think a movie is good, and then stabs me right in the back moments after I say it every time.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think it's all good. It's just like it's so hard to talk about because everything moves at a fucking snail's pace.
Yeah.
But it's also like it's not like warranting moving at a snail's pace like a Dr. No or Honor Majesty would.
Mm-hmm.
Because like while those moved at a snail's pace, something was happening every fucking second. Like there was something new. There was a new piece of information being released in Honor Majesty's Secret Service every like 5 seconds. Like every couple seconds, like there was like a new thing happening.
Yeah, because it is really slow leading up to when he meets with Luigi, but I think the scenes in that village city like space are still kind of good because it keeps that nice pace going with it.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's like right before that he spends like 6 minutes just like dicking around a hotel.
Well, it's because we're doing in the other friends they're doing what we asked, which is
he looking for gadgets and stuff? Or
no,
he
puts
he's turning his sink on.
He puts the steam on because that's where Luigi was in there and wrote on the thing where he was gonna be where to meet him, and then that's what he does. So it's like, but it's also like that's not the kind of espionage we were asking for. I just wanted to find some fucking bugs.
Or like do both. Instead, because he's just like walking around the room and then turns the faucet on it and it's immediately like 200-degree water.
Yeah.
The second he turns it, the steam starts pouring out. I was like, bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like that. Nowhere ever has that ever happened.
Yeah. I mean, the way they could have done it is he goes into the bathroom and then he
goes to take a shower or something.
Yeah. You just have to have that. You have to have the Bond theme. You know, I don't know why these Bond movies aren't understanding that you have to have the Bond theme a lot.
I wonder if they thought it was lame back then. And we're like, man, we gotta get away from this theme, but we also gotta put it in at least once.
Yeah,
because I want it all the time. Because they do the thing I really like. I liked the for 80s music. I liked the 80s music that was going on in the chase scene, but I was like, hey, I wish there was more Bond's like theme inspiration in it. And then it comes up, and I was like, oh my god, can they just do this in every movie? Just kind of mix it into your own soundtrack so it's your own songs.
Yeah.
Instead of just playing like the classic like orchestra version of it. Because I think that's a good stinger, but I don't want to hear that 15 times in a movie.
Oh, no, definitely not. Then we meet... So Luigi wants him to meet this guy who's helped him out in cases in the past. Aristotle Crystal, I think his name was.
Yeah, it's Crystal something.
Yeah.
Chris it is.
This guy was actually almost James Bond.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have liked that.
It was going to be either him or Roger Moore for Live and Let Die. It's a good thing I can't believe I'm saying they went with Roger Moore.
Yeah, because I think this guy's all right, but I don't think he's Bond.
No. We also get introduced to BB, who's a ice skater who Christoph is sponsoring, and she's like fucking 10.
Yeah, it's real weird. There's
No, she's not. She's like what, like maybe like 20.
No, she's like 10. Well, she's an Olympian, so she's probably in her like late teens if she's just getting there.
Probably 18 then.
Yeah. Yeah, let's make sure it's legal. She's 18.
Yeah. Let's cover our bases.
Yeah, in the like when she first gets introduced, I'm like, "Oh boy." Come on. She's like, I find Roger Moore so attractive. Let him be my personal guy who takes me around everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
and Bond agrees.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Like, please no, please.
Yeah. Well, Christoph, in his defense, Christoph insists.
Yeah, that's true. And I was very worried. I was immediately vocal about my worries.
Yeah.
And Mark was like, "Don't worry, it's not that bad."
Yeah, I was like, John Gunn knows what he's doing.
Yeah. He fights it off.
Yeah, he asks him about Locke. Did you know this man? Locke is also watching them, which is a good touch. Yeah. And he's like, oh, they're with this guy. I don't remember the character's name, but it's played by Topol from fucking Fiddler on the Roof. I think.
Oh, it's not Castro.
No. Colombo.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it ends in O and starts with a C.
Yeah, Colombo.
And I love Columbo.
Yeah. There's a good bit also when they're done talking to Christoph, where Christoph shakes Bond's hand and goes to sit down. Luigi puts his hand out to shake, and Christoph doesn't acknowledge him.
And I like that more having watched the movie.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, that's kind of like weird. And then later on, I like this more too now, when he just doesn't ask anything about Luigi. I was like, nice. Like, you're just meeting with Bond and like, forget about my main guy, Luigi. I'm Bond's guy now. And now it all makes sense.
Yeah. While Bond and Luigi are looking through the city, or walking through the city talking about nothing, Bond notices Melina's there, and he's like, Luigi, I'll see you later. Okay.
Yeah, and God, I hated that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I don't care, because like while that's happening, they pan over while Luigi's walking away and stuff, and you see like the tires with the fucking like the spikes on them, and it's just like that's what's more important.
It is more important. Like I'm glad that Luigi gets ditched, but I wish Luigi was like, you need help with any, like, we meeting up later? Where are we meeting? Like, just a little more dialogue than 2 letters.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Bond sneaks into a flower shop and keeps his eye on Melina. Melina ends up getting attacked. Bond goes and saves her. He also orders like
10 lilies.
10 lilies.
Yeah.
And he
I'll pick them up.
Yeah, he'll pick him up. I'll pick him up. Oh my god. And he runs. She almost dies. He fucking saves the day. He ends up throwing the other guy through like
through the window.
Through the window, and he dies. And he looks at the girl and is like, send him to the funeral. Which is,
oh my god, this could possibly be my favorite like one-liner after a death
of all time.
Yeah, dude, I can't. Did I not play it up enough when that is better than?
That's better than.
I had to stop myself. I think that's almost as good as when he just throws the flowers on the body.
You think that's better than "Don't mind my friend, she's just dead"?
I see. I don't like that one as much as you.
You don't like "Shocking"?
So "Shocking" is good.
Yeah.
I think this is better than "Shocking."
Or "Make sure he doesn't get away."
That's also that's way up there.
And what's another good one? I think they're on their way to a funeral.
Was that the 3 Blind Mice?
Yeah,
that one's pretty good. My favorite one though was when it was. I think it's before the jetpack scene when he he takes the flowers out of a vase and just throws it on the dead guy in the fireplace.
Yeah,
and this is like, I almost feel a little more creative than just doing that, but I feel like the other one does more Bond than this.
Yeah.
So I like them both a lot for different reasons.
Dude, going through,
it's so good.
I was going through like the one-liners. I got like a couple of Connery lines that weren't that. I was like, oh, I miss him so much. Like, remember when he's like at the dinner with Dr. No, and he's just like, tell me, does holding the world for ransom compensate for having no hands?
Yeah,
he's just smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, I just love when he's a dick.
Yeah,
out of nowhere too.
So,
you're such a good at antagonizing people.
You're such a good piece of shit. So Roger Moore and Melina begin talking. He's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, you telegrammed me to come here. And he's like, oh, no, I didn't. He's like, why the fuck would I do that?
Right.
And she's like, well, can I help you? And he's like, oh, no. She's like, did you find the guys that would kill my father? He's like, stop asking questions. Please. He's like, when I fucking find something, I'll call you. Like, fuck. And she's like, I'm gonna do it regardless. And he gives her a speech of like, listen, let me do the work. And it's a good scene. It's a good scene.
And that's because I feel really bad for the guy driving the horses because he looks like he's like almost gonna step in and be like, are you attacking this woman? She keeps trying to get out and you keep ripping her back in.
Yeah.
And then at the end he's like, amor. I'm like, shut up. No.
Yeah, so it's a nice scene.
But it's a good scene between them.
Yeah.
Because it's like building their relationship and everything.
Yeah, it's less horny and more...
Yeah, like he's protecting her.
Yeah, it's an attempt at the beach scenes from the Connery era, but it's not quite.
Definitely an attempt at Domino.
Yeah, 100%. And then we go into the BB scene. So Roger Moore goes back to his hotel, and BB's in a towel and comes out, and she gets in his bed, and she's just like, I can do anything for you. Yeah. And Bond's like, oh, I am very uncomfortable. Right? He's like,
it's good acting too. He like looks uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because he probably honestly is.
Yeah, this is. I like to believe in the Bond says like, "Is this what I've been doing to people? Is this what I've been doing? Oh my god!
I have walked out of a few showers in my day."
He's like, I gotta fucking change my ways.
Yeah, I feel bad.
This is fucked up. And he's like, "Put your clothes on. I'll buy you an ice cream. You're too young."
Yeah, that's it, dude. I love I'll get you an ice cream.
Yeah, and she's just like, "Don't you like me?" And he's just like, please put your clothes on."
Yeah, she's like, "My dad thinks I'm a virgin or whatever," and he's like, "Oh my god."
He's like, "I don't need to hear that."
Like, stop.
And then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna look through the hallways, make sure no one sees me leaving with this girl, so no one calls the police." And then she immediately throws him against the door and starts kissing him. And she kisses him for a really long time. He's like, "Don't you come up for air?" And she's like, "That's why I'm gonna win the gold medal. Breath control." And he's just like, "Oh dear."
It's like, we are leaving.
Yeah.
And I don't like her at this point, but she actually kind of has a turnaround for me later on.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm like, okay, I don't mind this. Like, you said a lot of people compare her to Jar Jar Binks. It's like, I wouldn't. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I compare her very fondly to Sheriff J.W. Pepper.
I was gonna compare her more to him.
Yeah.
And it's funny because she wears
A cowboy.
hat.
Yeah.
And he
That's
was
American.
He was a bona fide cowboy.
Yeah. And that means bona fide. I'm deputized. So she goes to watch some people ski and shoot, and
It's
one of
her
them is
boyfriend Eric. Yeah.
Is it her boyfriend?
That's a good point. She says it is, but it does not seem like that at all.
Because like,
because he's her. I think it's her uncle, not her dad. But he's the
Uncle.
main henchman, so she might just be like, "He's always with me. We're dating," and he's like, "I really am just here to protect you." This is so annoying.
yeah. Eric is cleared Nazi youth guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's clear henchman because the first time we see him, he's pouting and he's shooting and he's doing things like that Bond would do. So it's like, oh, he's a bad guy. Cool. And also Locke is there.
Yes,
And
Locke's watching from the tree line.
Mm-hmm. I love Locke, dude. Locke's
really good.
Locke should have been the villain. Like he should have been the main villain, not the villain, like not the the twist, but like the twist should have been like who's working for Locke.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that could be cool.
Because Locke's cool.
Yeah, Locke is very good, but I really like the twist.
I like the twist, but like, I don't like the acting of it.
Yeah,
And I think it comes out because like I think the problem with the twist is that it goes from like, you see that guy over there? He's the villain, and then the guy's like, "Hey, another guy told me I'm the villain." That guy's the villain, and
Yeah.
Bond's like, "Oh shit, you're right."
Well, no, he doesn't believe him at first, and then he gives him his gun, and then Bond puts his because I love Colombo in this.
Yeah,
I think Colombo's
I love Chris Salvi.
If you've seen any of the stuff we do, Chris Salvi is
An actor we use.
Yeah, and we don't use him. He uses us.
He does.
In almost everything we've done, and he's wonderful. And I get real
Chris Salvi
Columbo
vibe.
vibes.
Yeah. And then they have a ski chase sequence that's fantastic.
Yeah.
We got Eric trying to kill him. We got Locke trying to kill him. We got Charles Dance is trying to kill him. Like everyone's trying to kill this guy. This is Charles Dance's first movie, I believe.
Does he show up again after the?
Yeah, he shows up on the beach.
Okay. Is he in one of the Doom buggies?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, this like scene is so on Her Majesty's Secret Service that it's not funny. Like,
this is really good.
yeah, down to the fact that he's wearing blue.
Oh my god, he is. Oh.
It's like they're trying.
And
hard.
oh my god, and he loses one of his ski poles.
Yeah. It's the same thing. And it's clear that John Glenn is like, that's the best one because he's right. And
it's the best one. We'll just take the parts I liked from it and do them again.
Like he literally, like this sequence is just doing On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It has the same flips. It's got like the same, he skis, and then the people chase after him, and then like they end up in a bobsledding thing, and then it's just like, the only added wrinkle is now that there's motorcycles following him, and there's a really cool bit where Bond takes his ski like stick and puts it between two trees, and then they
clothesline him.
Yeah,
but it's real good.
It is real good. I mean, and the sequence is fantastic. It's just like, it is very on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
And it like, as soon as it starts feeling like it's running a little long, it's over, and they end up at a giant ski jump. It's like, oh,
that's actually when he does like the thing with the sticks.
Yeah. Because then he does the giant ski jump with no sticks.
Yeah,
and that whole scene's really good, and I love that they have like the cars set up at the bottom waiting for him, and is it Locke who's up at the top with them?
Yeah,
it's like, go down the jump now.
Yeah, like Locke's got a gun on him, Charles Danson's gonna follow him, and then Eric's at the bottom of the thing with a gun, and then he avoids all of it, and then two motorcycles chase him.
And it's so good. I really like the motorcycles too. They have like snow spikes on the tires. I don't know if I've just never seen like a snowmobile bike before. Because in this, like, I think this would be way less cool if it was just snowmobiles chasing them.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I know it's
cool.
It's a fantastic sequence. It goes on for like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah,
it doesn't let up, and
it has good music.
It does have great music. Of the long action set pieces that this movie does, this is the best one. Yeah. Also, we have our final. Yeah, it's the end of the trilogy, everybody. Of the guy who was like, "What was that?" The guy the guy from the beach and in Venice from the last two films, but he's barely in this one. He doesn't even do a double take.
Yeah, and it's like. It's almost like it's only a couple frames.
Yeah.
Because it almost looks like it's cut short, too.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to put him in there, you got to have him look at his drink first.
Yeah. I think this was... I almost wish he was just in, like, the background of one of the shots of the bikes going by.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've made my argument that I think that character should not have been a part of the series. It should have always been Sheriff J.W. Pepper.
Yeah. Which I think it would have been... I think it would have been great if they had Sergeant Pepper as
BB,
yeah, as BB as the semi-love interest. I'm just imagining him as a figure skater.
Yeah, I was just imagining him coming into the bongo into his hotel room. Sheriff J.W. Pepper's in a fucking towel and gets in his bed and takes it off. He's like, "Well, I can do whatever you want. I'm bona fide." It's like.
Oh, man. I can't even think about what I was thinking beforehand now. That image is just...
We were talking about Sheriff J.W. Pepper. And
as if he was just a silent role of just looking at his drink and being like, what? Just to have him be more of a call so he's not just like gone.
I mean, I would rather have him talk. I would
rather he doesn't, but I know what you mean.
I would love in Moonraker if he was like, "Did that picture just take a triple take?"
Yeah, but imagine if they use him like they did in the last movies, it would be like 15 minutes of him talking about the float going by.
Yeah, I would have loved it.
Yeah, I don't think it would have recovered the float scene, but maybe it would have made me like it a little more.
Hey man, Sheriff J.W. Pepper maybe got me to accept a slide whistle on a car chase. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, it didn't. You were so mad when that happened.
I was, but then it cut to him going, "Ah!"
That slide whistle still haunts me.
Yeah. So let's talk about Eric real quick. Do you think he's a step down from the last movies?
Well,
it feels like they're trying to do Grant again, but without.
That's what I was about to say. Like he gives me Grant vibes, but he's just like not at all. And there's points where like he picks up a motorcycle, and I'm like, is he supposed to be like super strong? Like I'm not understanding what you're trying to. Am I afraid of him, or is he just like another like spy counter? Like I think Grant was a spy counter. It's like, oh, I don't have anything special. I just do the same thing as you, and we're equals. So there's going to be actual good fights.
Yeah. And then Luigi brings Bond to an ice rink so he can say goodbye to BB, and BB's just and he's like, "Tell me about your boyfriend Eric." He's just like, "Huh, he's a Nazi.
Basically,
He doesn't talk to girls." And he also is a vegetarian, only eats healthy things, and he's also from Germany. And then like her like teacher's like, BB, shut the fuck up. Like, we need to leave. You need to get your and then the hockey people start coming out, and she's like, farewell, Mr. Bond, but not goodbye. And she also kisses him on the lips, and Bond is like, this is gross.
Yeah. She also like waits for the instructor to look back to kiss him too, which I feel is very calculated.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
It's a punish me kink.
Maybe it is. Yeah. She goes, "Don't make me do more of these stretches."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Thank you for making me do these."
Yeah. And then the hockey guys attack Bond, and Bond kicks their asses, and he puts them into the goal, and he wins 3-0.
Yeah, I kind of liked the first time he like drops one into the net, and it cuts to the scoreboard and the visitors goes up one. I was like, that's kind of funny. And then they did it the second time, and I was like, oh no, they're gonna do this 3 times, aren't they?
But they Zamboni the third guy, and I liked it.
And it just does the air horn. It doesn't hard cut again. And I was like, oh, thank God.
I like it.
I think it's all right. I think it's pretty weird, but
I think it's good old. I think because I see that also happening in the Connery era.
Yeah.
Like, I know if Connery was in this situation, he would have said like, I get on a Zamboni and I hit one and I get a goal.
Yeah, I did it. It's so like why are there hockey players? Why are they disguised? Where did they get the disguise? Why don't they just shoot them?
Yeah,
it's my always go back to.
Why don't they shoot this guy?
Yeah. Look at your wallet card with Bond's face and just shoot him.
So he goes outside and he finds Luigi's dead, and he looks in Luigi's hand, and he's got a pin of a dove.
Mm-hmm. Well, he checks for a pulse first, which is like his throat is slit, my dude.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, he has the white dove pin, and I think it's Locke's like nickname or something is White Dove.
No.
It's very confusing.
It's Colombo's crew.
Okay. Wait, so he's working for Colombo?
No.
Because then Colombo kills him. Well, kills the guy with him on the beach.
Nick, I can't believe I had to explain what that was.
What?
It was a misdirect. It was a thing where Bond thought he was looking for this guy, and then like it was all like because it's Christoph and Locke and Eric being like, look at Colombo.
Oh,
Colombo's the bad guy.
I see.
But really it's Christoph.
Well,
which is why when they shoot that guy,
Locke's like file says White Dove or something at MI6.
Maybe he used to work for Colombo.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like, it's not like he put it in his hand or something. Like it was because at this point I already knew he was White Dove.
Well, because Locke was always wearing the White Dove button because he was trying to confuse Bond.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, he meets up with Melina in Greece, and they are just walking around, even though there's a fucking thing that can destroy ships. I don't know. They just walk. Yeah. Right? They just kind of walk around for a while, right?
Yeah, they connect on a spiritual level.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing really gets done here.
Yep. Well, I think they're talking about like logistically what her dad was doing, because he doesn't know like what she has for equipment and everything. Mm-hmm. And then I think it's not right now, but later on when they go on the boat, he starts seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
But then we go to the
casino.
It's like a casino, right? Yeah. And we get a cool scene. This guy doesn't come back. The guy who loses the like $1 million.
No, but his girl comes back.
Yeah, and because she's with Colombo.
Yeah. So Bond wins at cards, and Christoph is like, "You're betting too hard. You're making too many calculated risks. You're taking too many risks." And Bond's like, "No, I'm not." And he just wins.
Yeah, if he says the odds are in his favor, and he's like, "I don't play the odds."
Yeah.
And then he ends up winning.
I've never seen someone look more out of place at a fucking table in like a casino more than Roger Moore.
Yeah,
he does not fit there. Roger Moore. I think that's just go back to history and Roger Moore.
My favorite segment.
Yeah. since he became Bond, it replaced our favorite segment, which was Bond justified hitting that woman. Now
Yeah.
why is Roger Moore not Bond?
We kind of get to revisit that. Not Bond, but we get some
Villain
BB hits.
Yeah. Roger Moore, like, with Connery, he comes up, and Lazenby, they both come off as like these degenerate, gambling, drunk sex addicts.
Yeah.
Like, they're just complete degenerates. And then
Yeah.
when any time Roger Moore does any of these things, or whether if he kisses a woman, it feels gross. if he's in a casino, it feels like a fucking your grandpa going for like a Las Vegas trip where he's gonna gamble your college fund away.
Mm-hmm.
Or when he drinks, it's fucking he takes a sip and then it looks like he has a sour taste in his mouth.
Yeah,
like
there's like I didn't even really think about that. Like the gambling, like I don't care. I end up winning, but it's not my money. I don't care. I'm just gonna bet wildly against like. Who's the first? Is it Domino's?
Yeah, Largo.
Yeah, Largo. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm all in.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'll take that bet. It's like, what are you doing? It's clearly an unreasonable bet.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna win though.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna steal his daughter.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess I could accept that this is like, if this is the same guy, that he's maturing and he's becoming too old.
No.
But
stop excusing Roger Moore for being.
But then the
bad
series
Bond.
would have had to have ended with Roger Moore. And we could not have gone back to the Dalton era where he's back to smoking and drinking and gambling like a fucking...
What if we
having
just,
sex like a fucking degenerate.
Let's just cut the Moore era out.
No. You can't. There's too much good stuff in there.
Like what, Moonraker?
Live and Let Die.
Does anybody from Live and Let Die come back?
No.
Yeah, so...
But fucking Tee-hee.
Tee-hee! Whisper! I miss the boy. I miss all those henchmen.
Got Jaws. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Don't be
Jaws is
silly.
cool. Jaws could have been with Dalton though. Let's
Jaws could have been with Colin Connery.
Yeah, Jaws is a perfect henchman, villain, everything.
Yeah.
And they go, let's make them fall in love.
Well, there is. I don't know if we should do this on the show, but there is a video game called Everything or Nothing for PS2. Which, for all intents and purposes, is the 5th Pierce Brosnan movie. It's an original Bond story. It's voiced by Pierce Brosnan, and it has Willem Dafoe playing the villain, and it has Jaws in it.
That's pretty sick. And I definitely played that as a kid too.
Yeah.
So PS2 was the first system that got me into gaming. I take it yours was N64 based on
Sega
other
Genesis.
podcasts. Oh, nice.
So Bond and Christoph are talking. Christoph is like, "Hey, by the way, buddy, you see, like, I think you're a part of the narcotics in Britain, right?" And he's just like, "No." And
no, he says yeah.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, he just plays it like he's not MI6. He just goes, "Yeah, oh yeah, you're totally right. I don't want to talk about it."
And he's like, "Well, the guy you're looking for, he's dangerous. But, if you find out who he is, you may have to kill him." And he's just like, "Does that upset you?" And he's like, "Just tell me who it is." And he's like, "It's that guy right across the table."
Yeah, just show me where.
It's Colombo. And Colombo is also talking to this girl who was with the guy at the poker table.
Yes, who got him to bet double what he was going to bet.
Yeah. Fun trivia fact, that is Cassandra Harris, who was married to Pierce Brosnan. And Pierce Brosnan was on the set of this film in 1981. And the producers were like, "Damn, you're pretty fucking handsome, guy, and you're very charismatic, and you're an unknown actor. I think you could play James Bond." Mm-hmm. And this was going to be Roger Moore's final Bond movie. So I think we almost could have gotten Pierce Brosnan way earlier than necessary if Connery didn't come back.
Yeah, younger. Imagine.
Because then that would have meant Brosnan would have been probably Bond from 1983 to 2002.
Wow, that would have been insane. Maybe he would have got bad.
I mean, he does go bad because Die Another Day is bad, but
true.
The thing about him is that even in his bad stuff, he never is bad. In terms of Bond, he was born to play that role.
It's just everything else around it is bad.
Yeah, it's like Connery and You Only Live Twice. Like, shit's sucking, but Connery, or a perfect example is Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah.
The movie around him is tanking, but he's like, You English? I speak English. You know, and he's doing the Connery thing.
Yeah.
My weekly reference to Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we're introduced to Colombo. He goes, he's listening to a recording of Bond saying,
I'll kill him.
Yeah, I'll kill him if I gotta kill him.
Yeah, and he's sitting there eating his pistachios.
Yeah, our 1,000th encounter with pistachios in this movie.
Yeah, and he goes out there, fakes being mad at this girl, and she leaves, and Bond's like, well, let me take you home. And she's just like, you look like a sane man, so take me home. Also, another quick fact, a more depressing fact about Cassandra Harris is that she died of cancer in 1991, I believe, or 1990, one of those years. And because 91. Of that, 91? Because of that, after she passed away, and then a couple years later, in 1995, when Brosnan became Bond, they were like, hey, you know that thing that Bond does in every movie where he's smoking cigarettes or smoking cigars? Yeah, he ain't doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Because she had cancer, and he's just like, I'm not down with that. I'm not down with people smoking because Bond smokes, which is admirable.
Yeah. But still makes me want to smoke. Couldn't edit it out of the old ones.
Yeah. Like the best cigarette ad was fucking Sean Connery and Dr. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
There's some good ones. Remember when Roger Moore's like, I'm going to make it so that he smokes cigars and drinks bourbon. This is a brand new era.
Yeah. This is going to be just as iconic.
They go, yeah, we're switching back. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I thought I put my own stamp on the character.
Yeah.
Melina also watches Bond take Cassandra home because, she was at the thing,
Yeah, she was, but Bond didn't see her there.
No.
And she has her hair up, which she looks like a completely different person.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Bond and Cassandra start making out in the car, which is fine. And then we go back into her house, and Bond's wearing a robe, which is like...
Bond came into her house and said, I'm going to slip into something more comfortable, and stole a robe from her closet.
Yeah. And it's just like, I hope you have a robe, because I would love to lay down with you. And it's really weird. We almost see some boob.
Yeah, it's real close. There's actually, when they're getting dropped off, there's he borrowed a chauffeur, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to need a ride. And the chauffeur kind of like gives like a little like side eye face, and I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what I like. Just a little bit of character for the extras. But
yeah,
we're in the house.
I also just like the idea that maybe Roger Moore is wearing his robe underneath his fucking suit.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, just always prepared to have a nice evening with a young woman.
It's actually his handkerchief. It just unfolds a lot.
Yeah.
It's a Q gadget.
Instant robe, Mr. Bond.
It's like the lifeboats that you pull the plug and it inflates really fast.
Slip into something more comfortable.
It sounds exactly the same. It's like a shotgun blast.
Yeah. Puts the fucking thing on.
I am comfortable.
Now I'm comfy. Now I can have sex.
Yeah, so
and he spills fucking champagne on her couch like a fucking animal.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know if it was like he was worried she poisoned it or something and he was just dumping it, but I don't care. Because then we get the next morning.
They're walking on the beach, and these men come to kill him. They're all wearing the bird stuff, Locke, Charles Dance, you name it. They got sand buggies and they got boats. She gets her head hit fucking first right onto a windshield.
Yeah, it looks real good too.
She's dead.
Yep.
And then I believe Largo's men. No, not Largo. Jesus Christ.
You wish.
Yeah, I do wish.
Colombo's
men shoot Charles Dance. And Bond, I believe, shoots one of the other sand buggies' wheel off. I think it actually is Charles Dance's wheel that he shoots off.
I believe it.
And then Locke just drives away because he sees that Colombo's men are there.
Yeah.
And then
Bond's like, oh, thanks for... Wait, who just saved us?
And then he looks up and he sees that they all have the bird thing and he goes to shoot them and then they knock him out. And then the next day they wake him up and they bring him into Colombo's office and Bond...
Yeah, they're on a boat.
Yeah, and on the boat, it's a great scene. It's a great moment to introduce like Colombo as a real character, where he sits there and Bond walks in and he just plays the tape. It's like, would you kill him if you know? He's like, would that bother you? And he's just like, tell me where he is. He's like, well, I'm here.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, it's a really good scene. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
that whole all the boat stuff with Columbo, I really liked. I really like Columbo because I get the
Chris Salvi vibes.
Yeah, Chris Salvi and our mafia man from
Teresa's dad.
Service. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, he's just like, the guy you want to be killing, it ain't me, my guy.
Yeah,
he's like, it's actually.
I am not the brains of this operation.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a smuggler. Yeah, I smuggle in
tobacco,
clothes, pistachios.
Yeah, I was like, he says pistachios. I remember that.
Yeah.
But he leaves the heroin for his partner to take care of.
Yeah, his former partner, which is Christoph.
Christoph, yeah.
And then he's just like, and Bond's like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
And he's just
why
like,
would I?
He's like, and then Columbo's like, bro, I'll just take you to his heroin ship.
Yeah.
And you'll see. And you'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. And then Bond's just like, all right, I kind of believe this guy now. Because he's like, if he's willing to bring me to the guy's ship. Then,
and he goes, here's your gun. You're going to need it. And Bond makes sure it's loaded and everything. And then points it at Columbo.
And
Columbo goes, yeah, here, have a drink, bud.
Yeah. He's like, we're going to be pals, all right? Have a pistachio. Calm down.
We're going to be best friends.
Yeah. And then they go out and they go on to Christoph's fucking heroin fucking fleet and or his opium. And,
yes, yeah, you're right.
And they have a great shoot off. The best bit is look at this guy eating fucking pistachios like they're fucking candy, dude. I don't think I've ever had a pistachio.
It's next time I'll bring pistachios and you can try them live.
Okay.
They're good.
Are they?
You have to take the shell off though.
Oh, are they like nuts?
Yeah,
I don't like nuts.
Pistachios a nut. Yeah,
I don't like nuts.
Ah, too bad. I'll still bring them.
They're
I'll
too
take
salty.
it out of them. Oh yeah, they're very salty. Yeah, I mean, you can get unsalted, but those people are weird.
Yeah, it's too salty for me. So the best bit is where Bond and him both jump down and they aim the guns at each other and like they realize who they are and Columbo goes, "Whoo!"
Yeah, that was close.
He's just like, we almost died.
Yeah,
and they're trying to, Locke is like, oh shit, where the fuck are they here? This is a great fight scene. And
it's the set piece isn't as big as the other big gang shootouts we have, but I think it's a little more intimate and it definitely shows.
Well, that was the point that John Glenn was trying to do, is that he said that he was like, Moonraker got so fucking stupid and ridiculous and out of this world, literally, that he needed to bring Bond back to Earth.
Yeah. This feels like something that it's like actually like realistic and could happen if it was two rival gangs.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of it's like small, intimate, and like he's doing on Her Majesty's Secret Service stuff, because it's like if you want to get more real, that's how you get real, and like it's more of an espionage story rather than like a big there's no end of the world plot. There's no eugenics,
and that's I love it so much.
Other than
so
Eric,
deeply missed.
Other than Eric, there's no eugenics. Locke is on his way out. First Bond is like, opium.
Yeah, a hole gets shot, and I don't even know what they are. They look like maybe they're supposed to be buoys or something.
Yeah,
they hide them. He's still eating pistachios too.
Well, he uses the pistachios.
He weaponizes them.
Yeah.
He throws them on the floor so when the guards are coming, they step on it and they go, "Oh, I know where they are now." But yeah, James Bond's just sucking down some raw opiate.
Yeah.
See, that's the ship mines. And I was like, why are these here? I was like, I want the beginning to be an accident. Stop trying to make it not.
Yeah, not everything has to be connected.
Yeah. Sometimes stuff like this just happens.
Yeah, Locke was gonna try to blow something. He's gonna blow up the building.
Yeah,
but they're getting in the way of doing that, and
they keep interrupting him.
Yeah, and I believe he does end up blowing up the building, right?
Yeah. They all get out, and then it blows up, which is weird because it's timed like perfect. Because they don't know that it's gonna blow up. They just kind of happen to have left the building, and then all get blown.
No, they do know it because Bond. I just looked at it, and Bond is.
Yes, he tells, "Get your men out of here."
Yeah, and Locke escapes a bit, but then Bond continues to chase him, and Locke is in a car and they're driving away. Bond is like on foot pursuing him, and he ends up Bond's in like an archway, and he shoots at Locke as he's driving. He hits him in the shoulder, and he spins out, and he ends up going off a cliff. But the car is still like on the cliff, but like the weight distribution is not right. And Bond walks over to him, and he's just like, "Hey, you killed my buddy Luigi, dickhead!" And he throws him the pin into the car, and the car starts to shake more as if it's gonna go down. And he's just like, "No!" And then Bond just fucking strip kicks it, which I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's some Lazenby shit."
Yeah, it's nice and brutal.
Yeah. And then it comes back to Roger Moore, and you're like, I don't believe that.
Yeah, well, you had some interesting factoids about that.
Yeah, because Roger Moore didn't want to do it. Because Roger Moore was like, my Bond doesn't do that. And he would I think if he just throws in the pin, it's okay. Because that's more of a Bondian thing. He wouldn't kill someone in cold blood when it's just like, did you watch the first fucking 7 movies, my guy?
He goes, no, I only watched mine.
Yeah. It's like, Bond is the king of cold blood. You know, the first movie is like, you had your 6. Boom. You're dead.
Yeah. That's so good, too. I just realized that this has to be day for night.
Yeah.
They get there and it's nighttime, and... This is, we'll just pretend that fight was all night long, and the sun has now risen,
or it's rising.
Yeah, that is noon.
Okay,
but I'll let it slide because I didn't even notice the first time.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, with Roger Moore's factoid there, it just shows that this man does not know who James Bond is.
Yeah,
and
doesn't want him to be brutal.
It's not that he doesn't want him to be brutal. It's just the idea he's like, James Bond wouldn't do that. It's just like, then you clearly haven't watched any of the films.
Yeah.
Like, any of them. Like, Connor was going to kill a woman in cold blood because he thought, like, she might have been involved with murdering one of his friends.
Yeah.
Not even, did it, and might have been involved indirectly.
Yeah. And, I mean, we get, he kills the woman who... Sorry, he kills the man who killed his wife in such a dumb way.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it.
He really doesn't.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. I just like to believe that John Glenn, who worked on some Connery stuff and the Lazenby film, and when Roger Moore's come out, I'm like, I don't think Bond wouldn't do that. Him being like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude.
You know, you're wrong.
Yeah. Because I'm Peter Hunt's protege, so and Peter Hunt made the best Bond movie, so you can eat a dick. Bond ends up meeting Molina underwater.
I like the idea
that get mad.
I like the idea that he goes, I wish this was your last movie.
Yeah.
So they meet underwater. They're excavating this pretty cool site. It's like a tile flooring that has a layer of sand over it, so they're sucking it up. And I think it's pretty cool. It looks like it's shot in a sound stage, and
absolutely,
I'm a big fan of it. But
the reason why I was asking about this isn't that when she just takes off her fucking...
Oh yeah, that's what just happened. There's this stupid ass scene. Emphasis on the ass. They meet down there, and she goes, "Hold on, let me take off my breathing pack." So
and
she
leave
takes
it down
off.
Here.
Yeah, I'll leave it down here. Wink, wink, in case we need it later. And then free swims up while he still has his on. I imagine he's like, what are you doing? It's like, are we going to make out or something? Or why are you taking this off?
I assumed that she was going to give him a blowjob, and then she realized, oh, wait, I can't breathe.
That could be it. But then they go back on the ship.
Yeah, they start talking to the bird, and the bird's just like, pistachios, give us a kiss, give us a kiss.
Yeah. Where's the key? Where's the key?
Yeah, and they start looking through her dad's files, and they find out like, oh, this is how you disarm the thing. This is where the boat is. Or
yeah, it's all cryptid in it's all what is it called? Ciphered.
Yeah,
and she is the only person who knows it, which that's lucky, I guess.
Yeah, it's very convenient.
Yeah, like why even say it's like. I don't understand what the point of saying it's a cipher with you have the only person who could do it with you, and it's not like anybody else had it.
Yeah.
They just took it out. I'd understand if like it was coded and they stole it back from a bad guy or something. And it's like, oh, he has the wrong info because it's all of this is wrong. It's shorthand for other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's I don't get it.
Yeah, this is the worst section this is the start of the worst. So once she takes the snorkel off,
yeah,
it starts to dip a bit, but it doesn't dip too bad yet. I think that with some re-editing, this could be fine, but they don't. But we can't re-edit it.
Yeah,
so it's not.
They go in the submarine, and now they know where the ship is sunk, so they're gonna go down. Like 400 feet or something. It's a big deal for some reason because I guess it's hard to breathe down there. I don't really know scuba stuff that well. But they go... All I know is that when the ship sank, the British intelligence was like, it's not deep enough. But then they need all this like crazy equipment to go get it. So it seems pretty deep. But I guess it's not like the...
It's like deep enough where you can use equipment.
Yeah.
Not deep enough for it to not be salvageable at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if it's that deep, then it's just like by the time they'll be able to create something to go down there, it'll be
that makes sense.
It'll be rotted away.
But they go down there and they find it,
mm-hmm.
and they free swim in their cool like EVA suits to go read the instruction manual for disarming the bomb. And they get in there.
And they end up they disarm it. You had a criticism of that.
Oh, it's so stupid. They have he's like, you have to follow these steps precisely. You have to unplug this thing, and underneath it there'll be cables. There's 3 of them, and you have to cut them in a special order. 1, 2, 3. It's like there's 3 cables. You have to cut all of them in the order anybody would have picked.
Yeah.
It's like maybe only cut 2 of them, or cut them in a different order.
It's even in reading order, left to right.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
You know, it's not even like it was like right to left, because then I've been like, oh, they're getting tricky there.
Backwards. Yeah,
but no, it's just
terrible.
Like left to right, 1, and Nick's like, okay, and then he's just like, and then they click the middle one. He's like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah. Isn't this a spy movie?
Yeah, and then they hesitate to click the last one, and it's just like, no, you're already there. What the fuck? This isn't like the middle ones when you do that for, because you don't know which one it is.
Or like in Goldfinger when he's like sweating.
Oh, Roger Moore didn't sweat once in this movie.
Yeah, he's trying to.
The guy came out of the water, wasn't even wet.
That's a good point. Do you want to do the fight scene?
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Yeah,
so
cool.
What happens? I'm gonna lightly touch on it because this shit's boring.
No, you like the kill.
Oh, that fight scene. I thought you meant like everything. Okay.
I mean, if you want to take everything,
I'll take everything. I mean, we'll see how I feel. All right. So what happens is we cut to Christoph above the submarine, and he's like, "Send some people down there to like get the thing when they do it for us." And they send this guy out in this fucking abyss ass fucking suit.
Yeah.
And
it is massive.
It's big, and it's not really good for fighting because you can lift your arms I think 2 feet up, and they put a bomb on the back of his head, and then they swim away, and he's like looking around, and he goes like, "Oh shit," and it blows up, and it looks fucking fantastic, and that's where it should have ended.
Yep, that would have been perfect.
But then we have submarine versus submarine.
So her suit gets clipped by the guy, and she's like, "I'm not going to make it back to the submarine. Like, my air is leaking." And he's like, "We'll make it." So there's kind of this tension as they're like going through and Bond's fighting. And then we get back to the ship and they go, "How about another fight?" In a submarine, you see the headlights in the distance and nobody's looking out the window. And then there's this really awkward, slow submarines fighting submarines, and it's terrible.
Yeah, this is what I imagine people see when they watch Thunderball, and they're not me. Because like I thought Thunderball was action packed and fantastic.
I thought it was very good. Like, I'm specifically talking about the underwater scenes. That big fight, it just needed like 3 minutes cut, and it would have been fine with it.
Yeah, I think because it's only 3 minutes, it's fine. Where this felt like, I think this went on for a good like 8 to 9.
Yeah, this felt easily like 10.
Yeah, you could fit one of my short films in between. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when you know, like, cut it out. So because like the submarine versus submarine bullshit is awful. It goes so long, it goes on forever, and we keep cutting back to Melina's like emotionless face, and Roger Moore is aging rapidly.
Yeah, she doesn't show a whole lot of emotion
at all.
Yeah.
She's bad. She's a bad actress.
Yeah.
Straight up. Once again, I think the next movie has a good actress in it, and she has a shit character, so fantastic. And I think the next one we have a bad actress, so.
Why can't they?
Luckily, once we hit Dalton, we get a lot of good acting.
Okay, good.
Not only from Dalton, because Dalton's like a real actor and not Roger Moore, but his actresses are good because I think he had like his hand in casting.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I assume, because it has to be the thing.
Yeah,
he's like,
there's no way they did this on their own.
Yeah,
somebody had to have helped.
Yeah, he probably was like, I'm an actor. I'm gonna act with an actress. I'm not gonna act with a model.
Yeah,
you know. So he's like, all right, but fuck it, dude. I guess, you know. And so that goes on for fucking eternity.
Yeah.
And they end up on the boat from Christoph. Like, they go back to the boat that they were like Melina's boat, but like Christoph and Eric are there, and they're like, she's like, where were the people I left on the boat? And they're like, you'll meet them soon.
Mm-hmm.
And they cut them and they tie them up, and then they take their boat and they throw them into the water. But then Bond cuts it off, and then they are conveniently right over the fucking.
Yeah. Guess what reappears?
The fucking air
the
pump.
air tank we were just talking about that for no reason she left underwater.
Yeah.
They just happen to be right over there when they need it, so they go underwater and they use that as like a little rebreathing. And then he thinks they're dead because they haven't resurfaced, so he fucks off.
Yeah. Also, like, Bond's like, hey, dude, here's your thing. Like whatever, like, the Russians are paying you, we'll double it. And he's like, I'd never double cross the deal. It's bad for my reputation. Go die.
Yeah. Bye, Bond.
Yeah, which is just like, that's why I don't really like. So here's what my criticism is. I guess is I don't think like he has like a good enough motivation as a villain.
Yeah.
His thing is like, oh, I'm getting paid to just give them this technology that they're probably only going to use for like also like I don't think the Russians would really use it to actually engage in war. It's just a thing where they're just like, don't start shit with us, I guess.
Yeah.
It's also something that would probably be easily steal, as we just saw in this.
Yep.
I don't know. It's also like if like it was a thing that you could blackmail and use for war, then like why weren't the British using it?
It's dumb.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess.
They needed something to fight over.
Yeah, it's not like the Lecter decoder from Russia with Love, where that's like a thing that literally anybody would want and would use it regardless of wartime or not. This is like, oh, you use this during wartime.
Yeah.
And Gogol is clearly not a man who's going to go to war. Gogol just wants to have sex. He has no interest in war.
Yeah.
Eric is apparently a KGB guy, and like Eric is, Christoph is like, I'll give it to Gogol. I'm not giving it to you because you're a Nazi.
Yeah. And then, so we get them dragging around in shark-infested waters.
Fucking air pump. They're dead.
I feel like this is a good length for it, though. Like, I only got a little bored at the end.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
one less pass.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was fine, but I think that because it already destroyed my goodwill with the submarine versus submarine shit, like it hurt. What's going on?
It's a lot coming right off of it. Let's cut the
Submarine versus Submarine.
And this is fine. I think with the Submarine, they kind of do like 3 laps. Because for some reason, Bond cuts his hands free first. I'm like, I almost wish they just didn't do that first and just like had the rope break on the rocks like it does on the third one.
Mm-hmm.
And then still use the air tank that's down there because it's down there. So might as well use it.
Well, one thing we should point out, there was no gadgets.
There was the sick cast arm thing.
Yeah, but like actual on-the-field gadgets.
The car blew up.
Like there was no on-the-field gadget this time around.
Yeah.
And Q makes 2 appearances in the film.
Yeah, I would almost count the identifier thing was like a used gadget.
But that's more of an MI6 gadget.
Yeah,
I'm talking like
Bond doesn't use
Q's
anything.
like, hey, hello, Bond. You're gonna, you see this pill. You're gonna take this pill, and it's gonna tell us where you are.
We're not gonna tell the audience, but your watch is gonna do something later. It's gonna have an air tank in it, and you're just gonna have to suck on it underwater.
See, that's the difference between me and you is that I'm telling you like a good way they used it. You're giving us the bad shit.
Yeah. Hey. Do this dumb thing that you keep doing.
It's like it's like in Thunderball where it's just like, hey,
it's a sauna. Was that one?
No, Thunderball was the one where he gives him the pill to take, and Bond's like right now, and he also gives him the propeller like jet, and he also gives him the thing that he sucks on for like 3 minutes that he can survive underwater.
Yeah,
and then so it's like all shit he would use, and it's like giving you like, this is gonna happen later, or in Goldfinger where he's looking at the car, he's like, it does this, and then it does this, and then it does this, and then in the movie the car does this, and then it does this, and then it does this. So it's like that's what we need, but instead Q kind of shows up and he just does his thing. But whatever, we'll get to that later when we talk about the gadgets at the end of the fucking episode.
Yeah.
So after that, they go inside and they're like, "We'll never be able to find out where he goes now." When you're like, "Rah." Yeah, because Christoph and Eric talked in that room, and the parrot's like, he's going here. Yeah. He's going here.
That was pretty good. So we get these two. So like instantly, we get them underwater, and I said, they're not going to go to the air tank, right? They go to the air tank. I was like, oh my God, who wrote this? And then they go in the cabin, and I was like, is the bird going to say where they're going to? It's like, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah, I don't think the bird telling them where they're going is inherently bad.
I don't think it's the worst. I think it's a little silly, but I don't think it's the worst thing.
Yeah.
The submarines are the worst thing.
Yeah, the reason
all
why
of it together is too much.
It's we're having too much. But I'm like the reason why because Nick was like furious at first when the parrot thing happened. I'm like, but Nick, they set it up in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that's how I was like, they set up the air tank too. It's still dumb as shit.
Yeah, but they set it up like the scene before it happened.
Yeah,
this one like they set it up like at the start. Like you can excuse it.
And I thought it was kind of clever because I was like, oh, I guess that's. Like, why would they think of the bird while they were talking about it?
Yeah. And then we go to where they're at. I think it's somewhere in Greece, right?
The parrot's a gadget.
Yeah. Right? They go somewhere in Greece, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And they go and...
they're looking for the monastery that...
yeah. And then Q is a priest.
Oh, yeah. He goes to that place first. Wait, I don't...
He's just he's like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And he's like, that's put into Miley 007. And it's just like, why is Q there?
And why does he have a fake beard on?
Yeah. And then Q is like, we've tracked him down to here, but we don't know where he would be, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I know someone who would probably know where he is. And it's Colombo. It's like, why didn't Bond just go to Colombo in the first fucking place? I don't know. We find out that Christoph has a
monastery base on a...
Yeah, that him and Colombo used to hide out at when they were on the run from the Nazis.
Yeah. I don't even know what you would call that. It's literally like...
It's a monastery.
Well, it's what it's on. It's like on a really small sky island, I guess. It's like it's surrounded by giant cliffs, and it's just the monastery on top of it.
Yeah.
And it's like a skyscraper. Like they have to climb up the side or be lifted up in a basket to get to it.
Yeah. They pass a bunch.
No easy way.
Yeah. They go in looking like a bunch of monks, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because while we have a monk eating pistachios, like they're fucking candy, and then Bond is like, okay, I'm gonna go climb that shit, and he does. and it's pretty cool. It almost goes on too long.
Yeah, this is like a perfect example of I was like, oh yeah, you finished. Good job. That was perfect.
The moment it was like, is this going? Okay. It ended. Like
I was ready for like a fourth scene in a row that I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, and he climbs up the thing. We have a moment where our first ever pigeon flying out of a hole moment, which is going to be a recurring thing throughout the 80s because that's John Glenn's thing. Nick thought it was just like, oh, it's cool because they have pigeons as like their thing, but it's like, no. I'm like, no, Nick, that's just John Glenn's thing. John Glenn just really likes pigeons.
Yeah.
White doves. And
when they're up there, they start fighting with the bodyguards, I guess. I guess it's just henchmen.
Yeah, he fights Adam Driver.
Yeah, this guy looks just like Adam Driver, but older.
Yeah, and while this is happening, they're just waiting for Gogol to show up, and BB is like, BB's like, why am I here? Why am I not skating? And he's like, I have a better plan. We're going to Cuba. And she's like, why Cuba? Fuck you.
Yeah. Why do you want to fuck me?
She's just like, come on, that's what you want. He's like, I know what you want. You just want, and you're not gonna get it. You're too old for me. And he's just like, you turned her against me, and it's just like, bro, you just look like you're fucking 80.
Yeah,
you look worse than Roger Moore. Maybe eat some pistachios and someone will sleep with you. And
that's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah. And so that's happening, and then we go back to Bond, and he's like, his like rope breaks a little bit, and then like Adam Driver's like, okay, I see him, and then Bond makes it to the top, and Adam Driver kicks him right in the face and tries cutting his thing, but Bond reverses that eventually, and that guy dies. And
throws I think it's probably a climbing gear thing, not even a little throwing knife, but he chucks it right at his chest.
Yeah, what was it? Was it Bond or was it
I think
Colombo?
It was Bond. Oh no.
Because I'm either thinking of Colombo doing it, but I'm also maybe confusing that with like later on.
Yeah, I think Colombo does it later on. And then in this one it's Bond. But then I remember, why did she take her crossbow out? Did she shoot somebody else with it maybe?
I don't know. You know what? We're just going to look at it real quick.
We'll watch. We'll see who's
fuck it.
old
You know,
memories.
we have the
better.
technology. And so it looks like, I don't know, man. I have no idea.
It's coming up.
No, I think Bond does it.
Yeah, because they're still at the bottom.
Yeah, Bond does it, and if he throws him off the cliff, or he falls off the cliff, and then they're like, "Oh, let's go up there." That's what happens.
And they come up. Yeah, they kind of like grab a guard and gag him, and they're like, "Where is everybody?"
And they're like, "I don't know, he's over there, I guess."
Yeah,
and then Christoph hits BB because BB's just like, "You want to fuck me, but I don't want to be with you. I want to leave."
Yeah, we get a big slap too.
Big slap. It's so hard they jump cut.
Yeah. Yeah, they had to cut the frames out. They couldn't legally show it in theaters.
Yeah. It was too intense for audiences in 1981. So Bond lets everybody up, and
we get some cool scenes. There's some nice henchmen fighting.
Yeah. Also, the reason why he actually hits BB is because BB's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's running away. Cause she's sick of him. He's sick of his shit. While it's happening, Gogol's on his way, and we have the big old henchman fight, and then Christoph and Colombo begin fighting.
They have some good fights too. It looks good.
Yeah, and then Bond throws Eric out of a window, I believe.
Yes, right off the side of the cliff.
Mm-hmm. And then
Discount Grant.
Yeah, and then do they kill Christoph before or after he breaks the thing?
After. So no, sorry, before. So Colombo throws the knife in him.
Okay, so what happens is, so they're fighting and everything. They're trying to get the thing, and yeah, Bond. Also, I gotta say, the Colombo versus Christoph fight scene is better than any Roger Moore
Dude,
fist fight
it's
scene.
so good because it's like, it doesn't jump cut. Like Colombo gets hit in the stomach with the device, and he falls. And as he's falling, it's like in the moment he like grabs onto his leg and trips him. I'm like, God, that looks so like genuine. What would happen?
Yeah,
Not like this terribly telegraphed fight.
Yeah, and then Colombo ends up getting, so basically Molina's like, let me kill Christoph, because Bond has the device, and she's like, get out of my way, I want to kill him, yada yada yada. And he's just like, no, well, you have to have the two bodies on your hands and live with that the rest of your life. And as you move, as this is happening, Christoph pulls out a knife, but before he can do anything, Colombo throws a knife into his back.
Yep.
He's dead.
Colombo like passes out from his sustained injuries from the fight.
Yeah, he's ODing on pistachios. Bond's got the device, and Gogol pulls the gun on. Has a henchman pull a gun on him, and he's like, "Give it to me, Bond." And Bond's like, "Okay," and he throws it off the cliff, and it breaks. And then he's just like, "Now neither of us have it." And then Gogol's like, "Ha ha ha ha! You son of a bitch! I fucking hate your guts. You always fuck everything up. Why? Why do you gotta be like this? I don't like you."
Yeah,
but I also kind of respect it.
Yeah, they have like this little respect going. I love it. He's like, "I'm just going home."
Yeah.
Goodbye, Bond. Because they know each other. They've literally worked together.
Yeah. There's like a mutual respect between the two, and it's fun. But
yeah,
then,
I love that. I was like, that's nice. I like that they're not like super pissed off at each other. Like, well, we're just both doing our jobs.
Yep. It's like, all right,
you win this round, Bond. I'll win the next round.
All right. See you at cricket on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we go back to Colombo, and BB and her teacher are cleaning him up, and she's just like, I think BB found a new sponsor. And Colombo winks as he puts his pistachio in his mouth.
Yep.
And then we go back.
Oh, I don't want to think about the end of this movie, Mark.
You can call it. You tell us. Tell us how it ends.
Want to. Okay, so as everybody knows, I'm starting to really hate the after action. They're like, okay, Bond's got a bang. We'll have some funny MI6 thing now, which I've hated since they... When did they start bringing that? Spy Who Loved Me? Or was it before that? For the like, oh, MI6 is here too. We'll just go. That was the first one where I was like, I'm like offended by how annoyed I am at this.
No, it was in The Man with the Golden
Yeah.
Gun.
Yeah, because
or was it Live and Let Die?
I don't remember Live and Let Die, but Man with the Golden Gun definitely had one with the phone call, which ruined the movie because they knew his phone number the whole time on his private book.
Yeah, and then it happens in Spy Who Loved Me, and then it happened again in Moonraker.
Yeah, and now it happened in this one.
Yeah, now Margaret Thatcher hears it.
Yeah, so we get Q trying to call Bond. Bond goes, ugh, this guy keeps trying to call me. And watch phone, kind of a gadget. He puts it with the bird, and Q mistakes a bird making bird noises for Bond and goes, Thatcher wants to thank you. Connect to Thatcher.
Yeah.
And I forget the first line he says, but it's the next one's like, give me a kiss.
No, he's
give
like,
me a
thank you. She's like, no, thank you, Mr. Bond.
Yeah.
Me and my husband, we cannot express our gratitude. He's like, if there's anything we can do to thank you, like, let us know. He's like, give us a kiss, give us a kiss. She's like, oh, really, Mr. Bond?
And Q's like, hang up the phone now.
Gay people don't exist.
We're having connection problems. Yeah, so hopefully that's the last Thatcher moment.
Yeah.
And we get...
Hopefully the Queen is dead.
We finally get the... No, we saw For Your Eyes Only. It was on the file thing, right?
Yeah. But then there's a part where he looks in Melina's eyes and she's just like, for your eyes only, James. And they disrobe at the exact same moment.
Yep.
And they disgustingly probably fuck.
Probably. I can't imagine why else they'd just be naked staring at each other.
Yeah. And then the bird throws the watch off the boat and we cut to the credits and the movie's over.
Yeah.
So good movie first act. Second act, very good. Third act.
Well, I really like the fight in the monastery. I really like.
Yeah, but the third act is.
But everything else besides that.
The beginning of the third act is.
Yeah. Everything except the monastery scene is
yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah,
I really like the beginning.
I do too. Once Gogol is like, I love you, blah blah blah, and then the movie goes back to.
Oh no.
It's like, ooh, what happened? We were having such a good time.
Yeah.
But now we're not. Well, let's just talk about overall feelings real quick of this, the film in general. Of I don't know. I feel like this is this. This is obviously is debatably his best, but I'll still hand it over, I think, at the end of the day to Spy Who Loved Me.
That's where I'm landing too.
Because I think Spy Who Loved Me had, while it's not as good a story, I think it's better put together.
I think this is lower than I had initially thought for me.
Really? How low?
Yeah. I think I like Live and Let Die more than this.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Tee.
So, like my 8th.
So is it that's Man with the Golden Gun,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So I think it's better than Man with the Golden Gun.
Yeah. It's definitely better than Man with the Golden. Well, I don't know if it's better
Dude,
than Man
when
with the Golden Gun. Maybe.
We kind of talk about this during the first watch. Halfway through this movie, I was like, "Oh my god, this might be in my top 5." I was like, "This is so good." And then Act 3 happened. I was like, "Oh no!" Every time.
Every time. Why do I keep saying things?
It's honestly, it's a lot of times I'll be like, "Man, I'm really enjoying this ride." And
so
then it just dives.
Let me try to guess your list again. Okay. So I think that this is above Man with the Golden Gun.
Yeah, but below Live and Let Die.
So above this for you would be Live and Let Die, Goldfinger, Spy Who Loved Me, Thunderball, From Russia with Love, Dr. No, and On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and then Moonraker, right?
Yeah, Moonraker's. Oh no, Moonraker's not 1; it's 11.
Oh, my mistake. I know how much you like it,
it's
though.
It's double 1.
Yeah, that's the first 00 agent. So yeah, I mean, I would probably be similar. I don't know if I.
Why do you know my list better than yours?
I know my list.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying I don't know where I would put it though.
Oh,
I don't know if this is. I think it's better than Man with the Golden Gun, but
yeah, I
don't know if it's better than Live and Let Die.
I really like Live and Let Die still,
and I don't know if I think it's better than Goldfinger. No, it's better. It's not as good as Goldfinger.
Yeah.
So this would probably be number 7 on my list so far, or no, it'd be 8.
Yay, tie.
Yeah. All right, let's do the ratings.
So the first one's the pre-title sequence, which would be the helicopter chase. Sorry, not chase.
Helicopter murder.
Exactly that.
The end of the Blofeld arc.
What am I thinking with it? I'm probably thinking like 2.5.
I'm giving it fucking 4, baby.
And I know you really liked it. I was like,
I'm a sucker for that Blofeld, dude. And after having the worst Blofeld of all time,
I mean, that was a pretty bad Blofeld.
This one was like, it was a breath of fresh air. I'll accept it. I'm giving it 4. It's fucked up as it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay at 2.5. It was a weird mood and everything for me. But the title sequence,
I'm gonna give that a fucking 2.5.
Really?
Because I don't like the song.
I think I'm gonna do like 3.5. The visuals, I really like having the singer in it.
I liked the visuals. I just didn't like the song.
Yeah, I think the song's all right. It's definitely not my favorite, but it's far from my least favorite. And the transition from the end of the song to like waves breaking on the ship, I really liked. Like almost on par with, I forget which movie it is, but it's the water spraying out of the back of the...
Oh, Thunderball?
Yeah. Is Thunderball's a jetpack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that, I was like, I hate that there's water shooting out of it because it should be oil, because water just doesn't make any sense. But that transition made it worth it, and I think this transition almost makes this one worth it. So I'm going to go 3.5.
Yeah. I mean, Thunderball is a pretty fucking good movie, Nick.
It is good. It's in my top 5. I'm going to drop it to 11. But after title sequence, we have Bond, which I think he did pretty good in this.
What did I give him in Spy Who Loved Me?
Hold on. Let's rewatch the entire episode and find out.
Yeah.
I think this is, I don't know, I'd say like 3.5. Like I think he did a good job in this.
Yeah. I mean, I probably. You know what? I'm gonna agree with you. 3.5.
Yeah, like it's not a stellar performance by any means.
Yeah, I think he's a better Bond in this, but I think that's also just because John Glenn is making him a better Bond.
Yeah,
but I think
that's a good point.
Performance-wise, I think he's better in Spy Who Loved Me because he has the moment where he remembers Tracy and he actually has to act.
He did have to act.
He did perform. So
yeah,
I think
that one scene was really good. He was all right with Jaws too.
Yeah, and he was good in the car scene. So I mean, if I didn't give him a 4 on that one, I'll give him a 4 now. And here I'm going to give him a 3.5. That's where I'll go.
All right.
And this is also the last time he's done this is the last time he's gonna have a Bond performance where he doesn't look like a corpse.
Oh no,
he's gonna look like shit in the next one. But you know who else looks like shit? Connery. So we're gonna see 2 old ass corpse looking Bonds for the Battle of the Bonds.
Yay! We still have to figure out the logistics of it, but we're gonna do it. I think it's
gonna be 2 separate episodes. But
you think so?
I think it's gonna have to be.
All right, maybe we can do them the same day. Like, put them out the same day, maybe. If we do the math right,
maybe
we'll figure it out. But the next one's Bond Girl, which she is no Domino.
She is no Domino, but I think she's. I like Melina. I really enjoy her first scene.
Her first scene's sick. I like that she's actually killing people too.
Yeah,
like she's, like not Bambi. She's like just doing her own thing, and Bond happens to be there.
Yeah, I enjoy the I think first act and second act Melina is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then third act Melina is whatever. Because then they try having this whole thing where she can't kill him, but like, what's the who cares?
Just kill him.
Yeah, it's just like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Her whole story kind of gets muddy in the middle, like, and really, it also feels like at the same time, a lot of her involvement would have just like kind of left after she killed the guy at the pool. There's really no reason for her to really want to kill Christoph. Like, yeah, Christoph hired that guy, but like,
I feel that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like a 3.
Yeah.
Because I think she did a good job. She has really long hair, which we haven't seen a ton of with Bond girls.
Yeah, that's an astute observation, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I pay attention to these movies. BB.
BB. Oh, BB. Fucking 5 stars. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
I think she was all right.
3.
Yeah, I'm probably about there. It's definitely... I see why people say she's Jar Jar Binks, but I don't think she's that bad.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I think like if you're gonna say that, Sheriff T.W. Pepper is also Jar Jar Binks, and I like Sheriff T.W. Pepper.
I liked her in Act 3, which feels weird to say.
Yeah, that's what's weird. Is like fucking Melina is really great in the first 2 acts, and then the third act she's kind of whatever. Like BB kind of like is weird in the first act, and she's not in the second act at all. And then the third act, she's like phenomenal, and I was like,
"What just happened?"
Yeah,
why did this switch? The next one is Felix, which we could do Luigi.
1 star.
Yeah, Luigi. Okay.
He's okay.
Yeah. I'll give him a solid okay.
Yeah.
But then we also have my brain just went to Castro again.
Oh, Colombo.
Colombo, yeah.
5.
Because I really like Colombo.
5 stars for Colombo.
Yeah, and I forget how we did it for Tracy's dad. I think we counted him as a Felix.
Yeah. Either way, he's a 5-star ally.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He's better than Bond.
Yeah. And he likes pistachios.
Yeah.
MI6. So we don't have M, unfortunately.
1.
I
2.
I like. I might go with like 2.5 because I like the first Q scene where they kind of have that back and forth, but it's on like that, like it's. I think it's good for that, but I don't want that. So like,
Why don't you want that?
I just want him to be the young annoying kid who he's like, stop breaking my stuff.
But he was doing that in this one.
I know, but it feels weird because he's so old. And like they tried to make like the brotherly respect in the other ones like he had with them, and I was like, I'm so confused with their relationship over the past like 4 movies. But if it was just this one movie, I would like that scene a lot more.
Okay, that's fair.
And like sometimes I hate doing this stuff because I'm like, am I doing too much thought? Should it just be this one film?
I think it should.
I think it should too. But I also hate the Moneypenny scene, so that's not giving it any money.
I mean, I think...
and the last scene is atrocious.
Yeah. I don't like Tanner either.
Who's Tanner?
He's the replacement for M.
Oh,
Bill
okay,
Tanner.
yeah.
Bill Tanner becomes an incredible character in GoldenEye, but not here. And he's also great in the Craig movies, but I don't like it here. And I think that I'll give them this. This is the first I'll give the Moneypenny scene this. It's the first Moneypenny scene that I feel like we've had since Live and Let Die, where I feel like they tried.
Yeah.
And even then, the Live and Let Die one was barely good.
Yeah. Like this, it was all right. It's just, I don't know. Again, I'm like uncomfortable with I think Roger Moore acting in that. Like, I wonder if I take the script and just think of the lines as Sean doing it, if I like it more.
But I think that if you have Sean doing any of the ones we've done, it's
just
better.
Yeah,
because he can say he can take chicken shit and turn it into chicken salad. You know, because like Diamonds Are Forever was a bad Roger Moore movie, and while it's like bad, it's one of the worst movies ever. But like, they're like he is not really I don't think he's like the biggest problem with it, and I think that obviously I think that we've become more fond of Diamonds Are Forever after seeing Moonraker.
Yeah. It moved up a whole slot.
Yeah. I think we've softened a bit on our hatred for that one.
Yeah. Still bad.
It's still bad. No, don't look at it.
They did him dirty.
They did him dirty, but I mean, we're seeing him in 2 weeks, so maybe we'll really get we'll be put in our place about our Sean love, but
it'll end up on our letterbox for sure.
Yeah.
I'll include it. So what do you think for it?
For MI6, I'm gonna give it 2.
Yeah, that's about where I am too.
Either 2 or 1.5. Because I mean, I'll give it 2 because of the hat.
The hat scene was good. I like that it was shot as a reflection too.
Yeah.
The next one's Villain, which we should do is Christoph. I don't even know if his name's Christoph. It starts with Chris, I think.
Cristal, I think it is.
Okay, yeah.
We've been saying Christoph this whole time, but fuck it.
Yeah, it's Chris.
Yeah.
I like that he's trying to con him at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
I like that, but I think if you're going to do that, you need to have him around a little bit more.
Yeah.
They do it
Is
again.
fast.
They do this again in a later Bond movie, and it's done a lot better.
Okay.
They do it actually twice in 2 different Bond movies, and it is phenomenal. Actually, I think they do it in 3.
They have a habit of repeating themselves.
But each one is very different in how they do them. And I think that this one does it the worst of the 4 that I can think of off the top of my head. Because I think that Cristal does not get enough character development, where the other ones, like, they're there for like a long haul, and then at the end they're like, actually, and you're just like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, this I wasn't super affected by the twist.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was nifty.
I think it was because Colombo is just like, it happens right after the conversation with him happens, and Colombo's just like, I'm here right now, so what do you want to do about this? Because, like, you're full of shit, and he's full of shit.
Yeah.
And want pistachio.
I got pistachios.
Yeah, so I'm going to give Cristal, honestly, he's above, obviously, Drax, and he's above Charles Gray, obviously, but
Drax is terrible.
I think he's in the lower tier for villains. He's definitely. I'm gonna give him a solid 2.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of like the spectrum again of Blofeld to Blofeld.
He's under Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, I think he's below halfway,
Yeah. So.
but not the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's below Donald Pleasance. He's way under Telly Savalas. He's under Donald Pleasance, but he's above Charles Gray.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. He's like right under this Blofeld.
This Blofeld was great. Henchman, which we have Eric, which I think brings it down, but then we have Locke, which brings it up a lot.
Mm-hmm. And we have Charles Dance.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have the throwaway henchmen in this are great.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 2.5 just for Locke.
Really, I'm at like 3.5.
No,
I really like Locke.
I do. I love Locke, and that's why it's giving it a 2.5. But
Wow.
Locke dies very early.
It's more than halfway. It's like Act 3.
Yeah.
I guess, is that the transition into Act 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that is pretty early.
And because like he was there the whole time, and he was a lot more visually interesting, and he had like this menace about him. But then at the same time, he didn't really do anything.
Yeah, he just kind of watches everything.
Yeah, and they called him like a killer. Like he got out of prison for strangling his like therapist or whatever.
He does nothing. Yeah. Huh.
Like he doesn't kill anybody. I mean, he kills Luigi, but we never see that. Like maybe if he killed like Luigi on screen, that would have been something. And or
what if no, that wouldn't make sense. I was gonna say what if he's Eric, but that wouldn't make sense at all. That'd be terrible, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that actually.
Well, he's so old.
Yeah, but so is Roger Moore.
Yeah, but I mean, Eric seems more reasonable for BB.
Yeah, but you just don't have the BB thing.
Oh yeah, then that's
with
that's
Eric
totally
because
fine.
like you don't need that.
Yeah.
Like what does that add? It adds nothing. It adds all BB's there to do is give Eric exposition.
Yeah.
Well, if you just but if like Bond sees him skiing and he's like, hey BB, you know anything about that guy? She's like, no, he's a creepy guy who hangs around like all the time.
Yeah.
And
no,
she's
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot actually. Where it's still that same relationship, but she's uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, this Locke guy's just like always near me.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Be my daddy.
Yeah. And it's and so like that's the thing, but then you lose like the great Locke death because Locke's death is way better than Eric's death.
Oh yeah, way better. Both
which I think you
Tonys
can just move it into that area.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to have Locke's death happen where it happens. You can just have him get in a car, try to get away with the thing.
Yeah.
And Bond, and then you have like a thing where Eric is just like, or Locke is like, that's the first time you hear him talk. He's like, Mr. Bond, like, here, take the thing. I'll give you this. Like, just let me out of the car. Bond takes the thing, and he's just like, okay. Also, by the way, he pulls out the thing and throws it into the car, and then he kicks it.
Yeah.
Then that's a fucking great moment.
That's real dark too. I love it.
But that's also more Sean or George.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think I'm gonna stick with 3.
I'm gonna stick with my 2.
Yeah. Story.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Really? I'm thinking like I want to say 3, but I think it's probably 3.5. No, I'm gonna go 3.
Okay, that's fair. This is my type of shit. I like the betraying aspects.
Yeah, I love that, and I love the fact it's grounded.
Yeah. I also like the revenge thing that Melina's got going on.
Now, yeah, you're moving me up.
I like what Bond, how personal Bond is taking the things, especially because like they kind of give you a hint that that's what's going to happen with the Blofeld thing in the beginning. So they're telling you like up front, like this is going to be a more personal movie.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. I think it's like a 4.
I think
because I really like how grounded it is. It's not outlandish.
Yeah, it's not Moonraker. We don't have a fucking dog attack moment. We're not shooting lasers and Jaws isn't falling in love.
Yeah,
there's no circus music.
Yeah, this had a good story.
Yeah, I just don't
some tweaks, but
yeah, I think I believe this is John Glenn's first time directing a movie.
Oh wow, I mean, how much does that do with story? But that's impressive.
I mean, it's more of I think the story itself is great, I just think that the directing seems a little muddled or not confident, and I think that that's
because
a problem.
He's a rookie.
Yeah, and I think like as a first-time director, the fact that he didn't direct anything other than this, that's fucking very impressive.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. This is because it's not like it's a bad movie. It's a bad Bond movie.
I wouldn't say it's a bad Bond movie. I think this
it's
is
lower.
I think this is a good mid-tier Bond. I think this is the most
mid-tier. Yeah.
I think this could be our
the middle one.
Yeah, this is like the like on if you're looking at our lists, this is where like this is like the perfectly like right in the middle Bond movie. This isn't great. It's not like not great. It's not. It's
You're
like,
right too, because we both agreed on its exact placement too.
Yeah,
like we both have it as 8.
This is a perfect middle of the road Bond movie.
Yeah. Cinematography, which I thought was all right.
Yeah,
they had some good stuff.
Yeah, like 2.5.
Yeah, I wasn't blown away. There's a really weird shot in the car chase that was like one of the few overhead shots they used that I was like, huh. Interesting. That wasn't just the same shot over and over again. But
yeah.
I'm at 2.5 too. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's
wild.
Still that's a problem with John Glenn's directing style. I think is that his cinematography
No color.
Huh?
No color.
Yeah, it's just more of like his stuff is usually very flat.
Yeah,
but there's a point where Dalton comes in where he starts to get a little bit better with it. It's still a little flat, but like he gets better. His cinematography is really bad. Like his films, the way John Glenn's movies look is really bad in A View to a Kill, which is his third Bond movie.
Okay,
that one's atrocious looking.
Yay!
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Right. Yeah, I'm about the same. The next one's Gadgets, which we don't have a ton of, but the Q scene has that cast, which I really liked.
And it has the umbrella stinging in the rain. Haha.
Yeah, that was a bad one-liner and a dumb gadget. I'm pretty low, honestly.
I'll probably give it a 1.
Yeah, I'm about there too. Maybe 1.5 because I really liked the cast.
Yeah,
because it even got like a chuckle out of me when it went off.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with me though is that when I rate Gadgets low, that's usually a sign that the movie's better. To be fair.
Yeah, I guess.
Because like.
It's no jetpack 5-star.
Well, it's just because like when you look at my tops, like my top Bond movies are usually the ones that have like the least amount of gadgets.
Yeah.
Except Thunderball, but that's also because Thunderball I think does the gadgets the best because it's like there's literally the Q scene I think is still to this date the best we've had because it's literally like we're gonna give you this and we're gonna give you this and we're gonna give you this and you're gonna give this and then Bond is being a dick and he's just like so I take it right now and then literally he uses it in the exact order and I like that.
I almost wish it was a different order at least, but still cool.
Yeah.
And then Car, which the Lotus is sick. So
the Lotus is sick, 5 stars.
Dude,
it
looks so good with the skis on top of it too.
Yeah, and the little car, fantastic.
Yeah, little car was funny, and then the Doom buggies were cool too.
Yeah,
5. Easy peasy.
Best part of the film.
That's all she wrote too.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's all the list pieces.
All right. Well, that's going to conclude it. Like I said, for Eyes Only, perfect middle of the road Bond movie. It's the most average Bond movie you could ever watch. And that's gonna conclude it. So be sure to subscribe to Nihilist Media podcasts, listen to all our other shows, and watch our films. And also, next week we're gonna have the big Bond extravaganza battle between Sean Connery and Roger Moore, where they both released a movie on the same year, both playing Bond. So that's going to be fun, because they're both notoriously 2 of the worst Bond movies ever made.
I'm very excited, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I can tell. So yeah, be sure to tune in next Tuesday, and we'll see you next time, everybody.
Have a great day.